Great opportunity Saturday. Terrific, well-coached team. Coach Calhoun's doing an amazing job. Obviously, a very, very difficult environment to play in, but a fun opportunity and a great one. Our guys have been we took 2 days off after UNLV, got back to work. Mustafa, we're slowly bringing back. I would say he's a game time decision. Hopefully he can practice today. And everybody else is good. So tough team to simulate with their unique style of play defensively, matchup zone. They cause turnovers, then they get that building going. So very, very challenging, but a great opportunity.
You guys are both teams that get a lot of fast break points. You guys are 5th in the country. They're 28th, but they don't allow a lot. What are they doing defensively that doesn't allow a lot? They think they're allowing 5 fast break points a game. Kind of surprised me, actually, because I can't tell what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they go back zone. What specifically it is, I don't know. Not really sure. Maybe they're scoring a lot. I don't know, setting up the defense. But they get back into that zone pretty well. They build a wall pretty well.
Do you think you'll be able to get out and run, though, and get in transition?
I mean, I hope so. But, in order to do that, you got to get stops. So, I mean, we're going to do our very best to play our game. But we try to do that with everybody. I don't think it's any different. So, I mean, I think they're really well coached. I watched them play. I think Coach Calhoun's doing a great job. I don't think they have a whole lot of weaknesses.
You guys have been a team that you've credited a lot, a true guarding kind of the guy on the other team that you guys are the guard anyway, that you guys want to kind of take out. It was Cardenas for Boise State. You had minutes against Didon at UNLV. He had a lot of assignments with, and Phillips' defense has been good on their wings and stuff. But this is a team that has 8 players averaging like 6 points and higher. Is their balance going to be a challenge to what your defense has been doing?
Everything's going to be a challenge. I mean, I think everybody's got to do their part defensively. They've got really good depth and balance. They run good stuff. They've got, guys. Obviously, Falslev has been there, but just the additions that they made. Drake Allen, Martinez didn't even play great last game, and he's one of the best players in the league. So they don't have a whole lot of weaknesses. So there's just challenges all over.
I know the message every game has got to be go out there and get the W, but is it different this week with it being a team that is top of the conference with you and looking into March? Is there a different message to this team heading into this one?
No, not really. 10 games left. People will say this is for first place. Like the conference doesn't end Saturday night, so it's not, in my opinion, for first place. We've got 10 games left, 5 at home, 5 on the road, and you got to try to get as many quality wins as you can, and we know it's going to be challenging. So, no, the message has been the same for Nicholls State to at Utah State to San Diego State at home.
And looking at it, how do you think your team is up to this point? Are you feeling – got to be feeling confident, but do you like the way you guys match up, and are you feeling confident with the way you guys have been playing so far?
Oh, yeah, I like the way we're playing. I mean, 9-1's pretty nice. The one that we lost, obviously, was a tough shot with 2 seconds to go. So, happy, but not content, not satisfied. Have a great understanding of, I think Lou Carnesecca said it. You could be peacock today, feather duster tomorrow, right? And it's that's the way this profession works. You see all these bracketologists, and like the season doesn't end until March, so we're going to keep playing them. So keep getting better.
You mentioned a few weeks ago you guys have been able to win a lot of different ways. What style of play do you think this matchup will require?
All phases. I think they started that UNLV game making shots, getting out in transition. I mean, you could say don't turn the ball over. They fly, and a lot of it is because their zone, their guards are up top. They're getting the steals, and those guys are starting the break. So as best you can, not turning the ball over, guarding the three-point line. It's everything. It's not just one thing, and that's why they're a really good team. I don't think they have a whole lot of weaknesses.
Winning on the road is there's 4 teams that are playing pretty well on the road in this conference, and that's what separates the haves from the have-nots so far. But why is this team playing so well on the road when you get away from this building? Why all the success?
Well, I think we play pretty well at home too. I don't know. I mean, I think, when you're 9-1 in conference, it probably means you have a lot of good moments all around. So I don't know. I think, we've got some tough ones coming up on the road too now. Not that the ones that we've won are easy by any means, but every dynamic in this league is different, whether it's going out Wyoming where all they talk about is elevation. And obviously we're at elevation, so I don't know how much of a factor that is. Or at San Jose, which is uniquely tough in its own little way. And then you go at Utah State, which is one of the best environments in college basketball. So I can't say what it is. I think we've been good at home. We've been good on the road.
A lot of focus is going to be put on Donovan Dent. I mean, he gets so many positive things said about him on national TV, and people like us write about how good he is. It seems like they're going to be focused on him. Do you alter the game plan just a little bit to try to get someone else involved?
Well, I always want to get everybody involved. Now, they're in a zone, so it's a little bit different this game than it's, a standard man-to-man. So there's no one easy way to get players involved versus this defense. This is a very, very unique defense. So I never go into a game saying, hey, Donovan, you got to get us 34 points or anything like that. Like, just play the right way. And I think Donovan is more than willing to get others involved. So, all the praise that he's getting, I talked to him about it the other day. Treat it like criticism because it's all irrelevant. It's got nothing, player of the week. Nice. I don't know why we give out player of the week awards, honestly. You should want to be player of the year at the end of the season. So I love that he's getting recognized for his great play. But this will all kind of sort out in the middle of March.
Coach, with the emphasis on Dent and Nelly in the post, how important is your bench play?
Yeah, it's all important. To get other guys, Phillip, CJ, True, Mustafa, hopefully back healthy. Making shots, making plays. You don't want to be reliant on two guys. We had that one time earlier in the year, I forget the game, where those two scored a lot of points. So find a way to win as best you can. But yeah, everybody's got to try to do their part.
Not sure if you're aware, but they have a pretty good student section. They're kind of loud in that place. I've heard you say, on your coach's show last night, they aren't armed. It's just words. But this is a different environment than most you guys are going to play in all year. In fact, it's probably one of maybe three that you're going to see all year. Madison Square Garden and Viejas being the others. What do you talk to your guys about what to expect in this environment?
Not a whole lot, like I said. I mean, I forget, some coach said it to me, and I loved it when, you're going to walk in there and it's going to be 10,000 people and they're unarmed. They can't hurt you. Yeah, they're going to say crazy things. Oh well, we move on. I mean, we're not that important in the grand scheme of things. So go play basketball. I thought our guys last year came down to a big shot from Brown. We were ready to go. So you got to do your best. Like, you can't ignore it. It's an absolute factor, just like it's a factor playing in our building or Viejas or whatever. But, I've always tried to make it about the basketball. Now, you got to allow your play to not allow the building to get going, meaning errant passes, bad shots, things like that can get it going a little bit. But you also want to go play. So, I really believe we're really not all that important. And if we win, lose, or whatever, there'll be another home game, another road game, and we keep it moving. So I try to keep it about basketball.
You guys, because as he was talking about, Donnie's getting so much praise, and Nelly has gotten a couple player of the weeks as well. But some of the other guys, especially in your starting lineup, have started to play really well. I'm curious, if you don't play Mustafa, if he can't go, is that a move Phillip to the 4 and bring someone like CJ in, or how does that work?
We looked at it last game and it was moderately effective. My hope, obviously, is that Mustafa plays. We'll give a look at him today. I would anticipate he's going to play, but you just never know. Like, he looked fine, and all of a sudden UNLV, he looked like he couldn't move. So you've got to have contingency plans. It's not as hard to go small in this league for the most part because a lot of people don't play two bigs as much. Maybe Boise will a little bit or whatever. But, so, I mean, it's not ideal by any means. But, yeah, you got to look at Phillip. You got to look at Jovan. You got to look at all types of different options as contingency plans moving forward. And we did it versus UNLV, and it was somewhat successful.
You just said keeping it about basketball. It's just another matchup. But with the fans and it being a big matchup from the outside looking in, are you seeing more of a fire under your team this week? Are you seeing them just like fired up for this matchup and with a good mentality?
Not really. We try to be very, very consistent with our approach on a daily basis. I'm sure they're excited. Nationally televised game Saturday night at Utah State. But again, we're all such prisoners of the moment. Big game, big game. Well, okay, what's a bigger game? If we lost to Air Force or we lost to Utah State? I mean, they're both really, really big in different type of ways, and they could both beat us and we could both beat them. So, I just try not to get into all that. It's a long, long season, 10 games to go, conference tournament and whatever from there. So I hope they're excited about it. I think there's teams that come into our building and seem really excited and ready for the moment. And I hope our guys are the same way.
And then we talked about Donnie. Let's talk about Nelly. How crucial is he going to be getting him the ball down low and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, when we've been good, Nelly's, like I said, Donovan was player of the week. Nelly could have been player of the week as well. I think Nelly's really doing a lot of great things. Obviously, rebounding the basketball very, very well. So any type of pressure you can have on the rim and in the post is huge. Now, they do play a matchup zone, so you're not going to run as many man-type concepts and stuff. But yes, as much as you can find him, the better.
So just to clarify, a win tomorrow doesn't mean you're going to the Final Four and you've single-handedly destroyed the Pac-12, and a loss doesn't mean the end of the world. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Destroyed the Pac-12. Why would that destroy the Pac-12? Because we beat them?
The future of the Pac-12.
Yeah. If a win solidified destroying the Pac-12, I would gladly take that because my thoughts on that new power conference Pac-12. But with that being said, no, I mean, we got about a month and a half left. I think Utah State is really good. I think Jared Calhoun's one of the better coaches around. And Utah State's got a phenomenal home court. But win or lose, we're going to come back tomorrow or the next day, and we're going to try to get better.
Does their arena, where does it compare to like the San Diego States of the world? Just on the pecking order of arenas in the Mountain West, where does a packed Spectrum stand?
Yeah, a different environment than Viejas and the Pit. I'd probably say those two are similar. Viejas and Pitt, similar size, similar kind of where the Spectrum is smaller. I would say it's about 50% students, which is very, very unique. So, yeah, I think it's really, really hard to win there. I think it's really hard to win at our place. It's really hard to win at Viejas, Boise, Colorado State. I mean, I think they're all different, but certainly the half the building being students and it being more of a smaller venue. It's not as small as you think it is. It's 10,000, but yeah, it's a great home court.
Any thoughts on Cal going to Kentucky?
Yeah, no, zero thoughts.